We have a major WrestleMania 42 update for you. Plus, a title match has been added to Saturday night's main event, and WWE could be adding Joe Hendry to the Royal Rumble. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. WrestleMania 41 just around the corner, but let's look ahead, Fraser, even further in our binoculars of truth to WrestleMania 42.
42. The wrestling world doesn't stop, Tom. It's just, WrestleMania 41 hasn't happened yet, but it could be party central for 42.
I don't know, I'll be 42 that year. I don't know how party central I'll be.
That's great. So you always know how old you are based on WrestleMania.
I'm as old as WrestleMania.
That's incredible.
My third was the best, and my second was multi-location.
Maybe your big 42nd birthday bash is in New Orleans, because from PW Insider, the word making of the rounds locally in Louisiana is that New Orleans is currently the front runner for WrestleMania 42 next year. PW Insider saying, we've heard that bouncing around within WWE in the last month as well, but this is the first time we've heard it being spoken about locally. Indianapolis is also apparently on the table for 2027's WrestleMania. Back in Bourbon Street, it seems.
I enjoy the aesthetic of a Mania in New Orleans.
WrestleMania 30, I feel, was very iconic. You had the Daniel Bryan moment at the top, but 34 was when it felt like it was a New Orleans WrestleMania with the big stage, the parties on Bourbon Street. I knew folk that went out there and they said that Bourbon Street was just packed with wrestlers doing all sorts of different activities, like Elias having a gig in a pub one night. It feels like a very WrestleMania-focused city, and I wouldn't be surprised if they definitely go back.
Really excited.
Just feels soon, though. Feels very soon. We had two, the 30 and 34.
They have their favourite cities for Mania, don't they?
Yeah,
they have their favourite cities, and they have the cities that will pay big money.
Big money, yeah.
To have Mania there, because they know the power of bringing basically the Edinburgh Fringe Festival of Professional Wrestling to the city.
That's a good way to sum up, actually.
And it is basically that, because
and
it's shaping up against that this year in Vegas. The Collective's been announced. There'll be numerous of the wrestling shows happening in and around it, so they'll do it every year from now on. So WrestleMania 42, possibly in New Orleans. We'll keep an eye on that one for you at cultaholic.com. Saturday night's main event is next week, and as of last night, we have another title match, don't we?
We do indeed. Last night we saw Nia Jax jumping Rhea Ripley backstage, but later on Jax defeated Bayley, which was swiftly followed by a brawl between Jax and Rhea Ripley. The brawl took ages for them to be separated. By security, of course. There was a tough one to keep those two from fighting. At the end of it, though, as the dust settled, Ripley challenged Jax to a match at this weekend's Saturday night's main event for the Women's World Championship. It feels weird having Nia just slotted in here for me.
Yeah, because Bayley had to be officially moved over to Raw and drafted over to Raw, whereas Nia Jax just kind of comes and
lost
goes.
her belt and then went, I'm on the other show now.
Going that one now, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, and Ripley and Jax have good chemistry, but I'm intrigued to see how they do with this one. I mean, obviously they headlined Elimination Chamber in Perth last year, so we're roughly having a Nia Jax Rhea Ripley match around the same time as we had
once
the last
per
one.
year. You get a quota. You go, we've taken that off for the year. That's that done.
We can move on now.
This just feels like a big win for Rhea. Like, there's no chance that Jax is going to win this belt from her. But for me personally, it feels weird having Jax just lose the belt on SmackDown, coming over to Raw, and then lose her first title shot against someone else. Like, surely she would need to be rebuilt a little bit before she gets that championship match. Either way, they're going to batter each other, and it's a good one for Saturday night's main event. It's a good opener to people that might not have seen WWE. They're tuning in for the first time. This weekend's card, though, pretty stacked.
Yeah, also confirmed Gunther taking on Jey Uso for the WWE World title. Like, can Jey Uso be more than just a very good tag team wrestler?
Yeah, the promos for this, I think, have been fantastic. The fact that he said that line, it's piercing, but really accurate from Gunther. There's truth to it from Gunther. He's just going, you're really good at tag teams.
Does the journey reach an end for Sheamus? He's challenging for Braun Breaker's Intercontinental title.
Nah, it's not time for Sheamus yet. I feel like if you're going to do that, it's at WrestleMania. You can't do it on Saturday night's main event. Braun's feels like he's just getting started.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. Oh, gonna give him his hands! Do we think this match destroys the ring? Because I think it might.
I feel if it does destroy the ring, you'll have Bronson Reed getting pissed off on Twitter that it wasn't him being the one that destroys the ring. I think it will be big, it will be meaty, and the barricades definitely will be broken.
Yes.
I don't know about the ring, but barricades. If it goes on last, if that main event's, it's a broken ring.
Oh, there we go. And plus a contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for their ladder match at the Rumble with Shawn Michaels as guest enforcer.
He'll take both titles. You'll get the Winged Eagle back on him briefly as he holds them both to put at the top of the ladder.
And he'll put the Winged Eagle on his shoulder and he'll suck water in through his eyes.
Sam,
it'll be 97 but backwards.
Sam suggested that he does the Playgirl shoot again with the 2 titles on Saturday night's main event. Where he has it wrapped around his waist and the table just laid out, and I'm sure we all want to see that.
Somebody be into that without a shadow of a doubt. Now, a lot of conversations over the past week about WWE and this special relationship with TNA. In case there was any doubt, an ex-TNA star is WWE bound. PW Insider sheds any of that doubt to dust.
Yes, they shared an update on Jordan Grace, saying Jordan Grace is expected to be at the WWE Performance Center this week. Grace is now a free agent, clear of TNA, and as we reported last night, PW Insider saying that she was expected to be WWE bound. Whether she appears on NXT programming, though, this remains to be seen. I feel like she is ready-made to go to the main roster.
Yep.
If she's on NXT, it's purely so we can get that Julia match with her and have Julia graduate NXT and pass the title on to someone else that can come in for a little run. But she's got to be at the Rumble, and she's got to be a major force on the main roster.
Yeah, stick Grace back in the Rumble, I would say, and then move her up to the mains. I think that because obviously TNA and NXT are going back and forth nowadays. There's this lovely special relationship there. It'd be weird to have Jordan Grace like in amongst that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a level playing field, whereas she feels a bit bigger than that now, and you could really liven up maybe the SmackDown scene, her going straight for Tiffany or something like that. Even one of the mid-card titles, you've got to establish those belts as like something people really, really want. Her versus Chelsea for the US title. I don't ever want Chelsea's reign to end, but Jordan's pretty good.
I think there's some big plans for TNA talent in WWE, and maybe some big plans for another TNA talent in WWE in the Rumble. What PW Insider saying, Fraser?
They said with news of the TNA and WWE partnership, we've heard from WWE creative sources that there's already been a pitch for a top TNA star to be in the men's Royal Rumble on the 2nd or 1st of February.
Say his name.
It's going to be him. It's going to be him. Joe Hendry, we believe.
Now, before you go off, I've seen you, Alan, going, but that is on the Jericho Rock and Rager cruise.
And you know what? He would be correct. He is on the Jericho Rock and Rager cruise, but he is joining on the 2nd of February, the day after the Royal Rumble. So he could do the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis and then board a little flight and join the cruise. It is possible because the cruise is stopping on the 2nd at a port in Cuba. So he could get there. He could get on that boat after he's won the Royal Rumble.
Aiden was saying there might be some issues in terms of travel.
Maybe, but he can do it. He can do it. It is feasible because he's going to do it. Because I think he's going to be in that Rumble. He's teased it as much himself in little parts. He's been like, we believe. And I think we do believe. I think this is a great spot for him to appear in. He's just won that TNA World title.
He's a great believer in manifestation. I was in a car with Joe Hendry last summer for many hours driving all over the country on the Burning Heart tour, and even then he was manifesting the Rumble. Yeah. So if it happens for him, honestly, you'll be hard pressed to find anybody more happy for him than us here at Cultaholic. He's a guy that's grafted and crafted to make it happen.
Maybe you have him start the first entrant, the first turnaround is Joe Hendry, and that way he can get in, get out, fly to Cuba, get on the cruise, get on the cruise to hang out with Jericho.
I want him to have that moment with Cena though, because it comes to his first interview that he did on Busted Open Radio as TNA champion, and he revealed what he's got his sights on, and this is no surprise either. He says, we're in an era where anything can happen, and just before Genesis, Triple H tweeted about the show, Shawn Michaels tweeted about the show, John Cena posted the TNA logo on his Instagram. What kind of representative would I be for TNA if I didn't call out John Cena.
Yeah, if we get that moment in the Rumble, that would be very, very cool. Joe Hendry and John Cena, the two icons of the industry, like Hogan Rock,
Yes,
all over again.
exactly like Hogan Rock.
Yeah, one's got bleached blonde hair.
Yeah.
The other's not. It's Hogan Rock.
It's Hogan Rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's defo Hogan Rock. Well, no, but all jokes aside, I could see them putting the TNA World Champion in the Rumble. I could see Joe Hendry being in the Rumble.
We saw Jordan Grace last year as the TNA Women's World Champion, so like it's not out of the realm of possibilities that they put the top champion in there.
Yeah.
I'm just worried at the end of the day, if it's not Joe Hendry, then we just get Nick Nemeth and they pretend it's not Dolph Ziggler.
No, we have Nick Nemeth go in, Nick Nemeth gets chucked out, and then Dolph Ziggler enters.
He goes in, then Nikki from the Spirit Squad. And then we do the faces of Nemeth. I think that if it's going to happen, that's going to happen. But I think it's got to be Hendry. It's got to be Hendry.
I kind of want the golf caddy now from Kerwin White's gimmick to be.
Have we got any other Nick Nemeth gimmicks?
The guy who played in that movie Countdown.
Yeah, and also the comedy stand-up comedian Nick Nemeth.
Stand-up comedian Nick Nemeth.
Yeah. All the faces of Nemeth.
Just send his brother in there going, send Ryan in.
Send Ryan in. Yeah, there you go.
For the latest wrestling news and the latest Nick Nemeth gimmick news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.